That's what love does. It edifies, it beautifies. If it's still infant, it's still self-centered. But if it's ever matured, it begins to embrace others. It begins to see the beauty in others. It begins to take a moment to look. You know, you got dressed up for today. You know, you put on a beautiful dress. How many people have commented about your dress? How many about those beautiful earrings you're wearing? You see what I'm getting at? You know, do we take time to praise and see the beauty in others? No, we don't. We're so self-centered. We're so into our own life. I'm not saying you are, but that's what the world's about, you know? Obviously you're not that, you know, you're here for a reason. You're a step above, quite frankly. But people are searching. They're looking for answers. And they're always going the wrong place for them. Be Here Now. Used to be a book by that name, Be Here Now. Back there in the days of the 60s. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Of course, they were all tripping at that time. And I really have some thoughts on that subject which would shock you. But not her. She's been my student. She knows better. I'll tell it all like it is. I'm Sagittarian. I got to say it like it is. The early Christians were mushroom cultists. That's why they were persecuted by the Romans. Not because they preached and had a guy followed named Jesus. They were mushroom cultists. They took Amanita muscaria. And that's why they persecuted them so much. It's kind of like the war on drugs. You know? And you doubt that? Read the scriptures. Talking about sacrament, it says this sacrament, this is bread and wine, right? Catholic Church, bread and wine, right? This is what they're talking about. Listen to the Bible. Many of you are sick and weakly amongst you, and many sleep. Sleep was a euphemism for what? Dead. Because you take this and discern not the Lord's body when it comes. What are they talking about? When you do this, tarry one for another. Oh, what's that mean? Look out for each other if you're going to take this stuff. The last chapter of my book is all about eyes. When you dwell on good, did you know your eyes dilate? Why do you think that a card player wears glasses, sunglasses, when he's playing cards? He pulls a royal flush, what do you think is going to happen? You think his eyes don't tell a story? He doesn't have to say a word. If you look at his eyes, there's an old card player that's won many hundreds of thousands of dollars probably. But she knew how to count cards. Anyway, but what are we talking about? We're talking about the eyes. The eyes are the windows of the soul. Okay, there's an old wives' tale says if a man tells you he loves you and his eyes are pinpointed, beware. Beware. Of course, now you can be in different light. You can all be in different light. You're going to have different eye dilation. Let's face that. But you look at a child's eyes generally. They're pretty wide open. They're still innocent. They still have that innocence. But you see, when we look at beauty, when we look at something beautiful, our eyes will respond to that. You can't hide them. They are truly the windows to the soul. The early Christians said, if an eye be single, the whole body would be full of light. I've seen a lot of BS about that one. Oh, it's a third eye. You know, it's this, it's that. Ah, baloney. The singleness of an eye would be a totally dilated eye. Okay? And the more loving you are, the more your eyes dilate. When you look at a beautiful woman, your eyes dilate. You know, the Greek statues must have had that in mind. They had all those lovely, beautiful bodies in the public squares. I mean, you know, it dilates the eyes. Okay? So when we look at beauty, our eyes behold it. We begin to open them. So if you're walking in light, you're not walking in darkness. Oh, amazing. Do you remember the story of Saul? He was the persecutor of the Christians. Saul was the persecutor of the Christians. But he was struck down blind when he was in the desert. And I think he just raided Paul. Did I say? Who did I say? He was Saul before he became Paul. Yeah, exactly. Good for you. She knows her Bible. So he was Saul. He was the persecutor of the Christians. And then I believe he raided a Christian group. And he probably ate something he shouldn't have. Maybe one experiment. And he gets out in the desert. What happens? They don't have Ray-Ban sunglasses back then. He's in the desert, and guess what? He's struck down blind. His eyes get burned. He's blind for 3 days. The scales took 3 days to get scales off his eyes. You go out in the bright sunlight after you've got your eyes opened. You know, you ever go into a doctor, they dilate your eyes? They say, wear these dark glasses. You don't go out there in that sun like that. You're going to hurt your eyes, right? Anyway, And so what happens, he hears God speak to him, Saul, Saul, why dost thou persecute me so? And he became one of the foremost of all Christians. All right? I'm not here to, promote or share. I'm sharing truth. If it's foreign to you, that's, I understand it. It's okay. But I have to tell you what I know. Okay? So, back to, let's see if I can take you on a little journey here. Maybe we can stay scripted a little bit. That'd be